I think this is as accurate as you're going to get for CJAX. I went live a little bit too early on the day CJAX dropped, and because we had to waste 2 hours time, I decided to make a tier list of the best operators that you guys can run for CJAX in ranked. I can't wait to hear all of you guys 100% agree with me on every single decision I made. My god, CC, what is wrong with you? Bro, she just went full speed into the chair back there. Right off the bat, S tier that you can always bring, no matter what. Blackbeard. Like Fenrir's got to be up there. I want to put Ace up there because of his gun, but his hard breach is actually like bad. I guess for walls it's decent, but I'd say Goyo's good majority of the time. Maybe even most of the time. Or like always. I am thinking about this in like a pro league sense. And I need to remember that in pro league, like Dokkaebi is a decent operator, but not necessarily the best. But in ranked, she's like probably the best. Or one of the most annoying. We're going to go through some of the bad picks so I can start moving people. Raura, I would say, is like a very rare pick. I don't think she's that good. Phyllis as well. I'd say Thorn is like an F tier, right? Clash now, I'd say is a majority of the time good. I'd say Doc is a rare pick. People just use him for the ACOG. But they already said that in season 3 or 4 or something, they're going to reshuffle ACOGs, and I assume Doc is going to lose his. Where's Tachanka? Oh, there he is. Thunderbird now is going to be a rare pick. Not a terrible pick, but a rare pick. I'm kind of just like throwing them up there, and then I'll probably shuffle them a lot. Brava you bring only if they have a lot of gadgets. Maestro, Maestro's becoming more situational than he is a rare pick. Frost, situational as well. You only bring, like, these trap operators, you really only bring if you're going to try to stop a rush. Why is Thunderbird rare now? She got buffed, so I would normally put her in F tier, but because she got buffed, she's going up to D tier. Now her Kona stations only heal teammates; they don't heal enemies. Blitz is good, but I think Monty's just better, and I feel like you only bring Blitz if you're gonna be like being very aggressive. Rook's got to be F tier. I think Jackal's still good, but he's not amazing. Ram's probably not always bring, but very, very good. I want to say, I think Buck, out of like Ram, Buck, and Sledge, I think Buck is the best, right? He's got to be, because he can go vertical. The other two can't. Or like bottom up. I feel like Orc should probably be D tier, but I love him. He's so good. Just a great roamer and has so much fragging potential and can make rotates like it's nothing. But I think he's still D tier. Yana's almost always good. Thatcher's kind of fallen out of favor because you have pocket EMPs, you don't have to bring him. Ella needs to be higher because of her counter to shield plays. When you can just punch them and get the same effect, I don't think it's really that worth it. I think Grim is really, really good. But I also don't think, like, I think if you're playing very good Siege, you don't need a Grim majority of the time. But he got buffed a lot. I also don't want to put so many people in A tier. Cav, I know a lot of people are going to roast the D tier because a lot of people think she's F tier or S tier if you're on console. But Cav, I feel like 90% of the time you don't bring her. You bring her on like round 9, match point overtime. They're not expecting you to run Cav because you haven't run Cav once this entire game. And then you hide Cav next to a common like rush spot and you just interrogate and you win the game. That's what we always do. That's what Evan always does. That's what Cross always does. And it always works. I feel like Mute. Am I crazy? SMG-11 is good. Shotgun is good. But you have those guns on other people and you don't need them. And then his gadget is kind of like, I don't know. I feel like his gadget's gotten pretty meh. Maybe not D. I feel like D is borderline useless. But C, he's at least like, you use him for some plays. Pulse, situational as well. Zofia is average, I would say. Scopos, I feel like situational. By the way, I'm throwing a lot of these up and then we're going to shuffle them a lot. I'm going to have chat argue with me on it. Because we got 2 hours to kill, so. Isn't Mute like an 80% pick rate in Pro League? Mute. Oh my god, Mute was the second highest picked operator on defense at the Rio event. Keep in mind though, I'm talking about this in general Siege. Not like crazy high ranked, not low ranked, but like I'd say Emerald to Diamond ranked. Because it's at least a bit more common than Champ, and then not Pro League. Pro League is its own thing. Castle, becoming more of a situational operator. I feel like I have too many people in A, but I don't think I have enough people in the lower tiers. Flores is average. Cali, I would say, is situational. Maverick is pretty much always good. IQ is, I feel like, a rare pick. You really don't need her unless you're specifically trying to like counter a Kaid trick or something. Ash, let's be honest, is almost always good. Amaru is not that great. Fuse, I feel like in the general gameplay for Siege, in Siege as a whole, Fuse is terrible. He is only good in Copper, and then anything above that he's like awful, unless you're doing a very specific strat. I guess put almost never bring, because there's never an operator that you should absolutely never ever bring. It's just they're almost always not good. I think is average. Gridlock is situational. She's good, but honestly, I feel like Nomad's just better. Jaeger got buffed, so he's now, I want to say at least Wamai or Jaeger should be A tier and the other one B tier. Jaeger's probably better, but I can't remember the last time we had people like just spam any type of nade, like whether it's flash, smoke, or frag. It's like that, I don't know, that type of play doesn't really happen anymore because frags got nerfed. So it's not as impactful. Keep in mind, this is for Year 10 Season 2. Jaeger got buffed, so Jaeger now captures all projectiles that Wamai captures. And he has unlimited recharges, so. And he has a better gun. Twitch is in between. You don't bring Twitch unless they have a lot of gadgets, but her DMR is really good. I'd say Warden is situational, right? You don't want him as a generic pick anymore. Like, he's always a decent pick because he's just got a good gun. But I'm thinking, again, in the broader sense of Siege. Actually, he did get a slight buff because of the fire extinguishers. I feel like Mira now being countered by Cali and Ash, she's got to be like average. It's too easy to counter her now. And a part of me wants to put Bandit down in D tier because I don't think he's normally that good since it's so easy to counter Bandit tricking. But I think he was actually picked a lot at events now. Yeah, he's at a 13% pick rate, which is higher than Kaid. A lot of people Bandit trick now. I would say Kaid is maybe even a rare pick. But I don't know, that's Pro League though. In ranked, I feel like he's still very good. Echo's definitely a rare pick. Capitão's got to be like rarely. I think it'd be more average. And then Vigil's got to be like, I don't want to put him in A tier because I think he's kind of useless, but people do just fry with his guns. So chat, let's open the floor. You guys can discuss. I kind of want to move Valkyrie up to S tier. I genuinely think Valkyrie is almost always a good pick on any site because there's always good places you can hide your cameras. Okay, I'm going to move Valk up. A lot of people want me to move Mute. The thing I find with Mute though is like his jammers don't stop a whole lot. And maybe this is just me, maybe I'm just bad. Maybe I don't understand how good he is. But his jammers don't stop a whole lot. He's got good guns, but again, you can get them on like Smoke, you can get the shotgun on Warden. You can get the SMG-12 on Vigil instead of 11 on Mute. Like, I get his guns are good, but I feel like him as a whole, his kit, I'm like, I feel like that's not that impactful, you know? Also, Smoke, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of want to move him down. Only because I feel like in the amount of like ranked I've played recently and Siege Cup, I think I never see Smoke. Which is weird because Smoke used to always be the #1 pick, but I think Goyo has taken his place. I think even in Pro League, Smoke isn't picked that much, right? Well, I was wrong. I don't remember seeing him that much at the Reload event, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I would just say that if we're playing ranked, like just standard ranked, with like people that I probably don't know too well, like with randoms, I probably wouldn't want Mute on my team. Just because I feel like maybe because of how ranked plays, you kind of want someone who's more frag oriented and not just like putting down jammers that probably aren't going to stop a whole lot. But that's just me. Okay, chat, next topic. Am I crazy for wanting to move Thatcher down to situational, to C tier? I think Thatcher now is not that good of a pick because pocket EMPs exist. How often in high rank play are you bringing Thatcher? I think he goes down. I don't think on average you're bringing a Thatcher. I also see people in chat arguing that Doc should be higher. Doc, I understand, is a very highly picked operator. He is probably one of the highest picked operators on defense because people love to spawn peek with him. Does that make him a good operator? No. Does that make him a good pick? No. It is in general just people with really good gun skill who want to pick Doc to go spawn peek, and they either, that's usually a 50-50, they either live or get one kill, or they get one kill or they die. Because I'm pretty sure Doc has like an almost even win rate. So I don't think it's that crazy for him to be a rare pick because he's not good. It's just people pick him to spawn peek. And let's be honest here. Most of those people who pick Doc to spawn peek could probably spawn peek with any operator. They just choose Doc because it's Doc. And because he can heal himself. Not to mention his gadget is kind of ass. Deimos. I think we move up. Also, I might actually even put chat on the screen because I think you guys are yelling a lot, which I think viewers will like. So thoughts on moving Deimos up to S tier. I think Deimos is almost always a good pick. The only time I could see you not bringing him is if they're going full... Actually, no, even if they go full anchor on site, you bring Deimos and then you just shoot them from below, right? I saw people complaining that Rook is too low. Again, in ranked in general, sure, people choose Rook and Doc to go spawn peek, but these are not good operators. You don't bring Rook and being like, oh, he's such a great operator. Like, I'm going to bring him so that we have armor. Who the fuck cares about armor? You get downed, you die. You get headshotted, you die. Armor's shit. Yes, just because you guys spawn peek with Rook in gold rank doesn't mean he's a good operator, okay? As an Oryx main, I want to move him up. I don't think he belongs in D tier. I don't think ever in my life I would say Oryx is D tier. I think he's a good roamer with a good gun, can make rotates easily, but I guess if we're thinking in ranked as a whole, a lot of operators can make rotates, right? That's not really anything special. So maybe he is D tier. Maybe I'm just trash. Fuck. A lot of people kept telling me to move Goyo up. If I'm thinking about it, in any Pro League match, I think Goyo is always picked. I think he's always a good pick. It's just about how you use him. And I know a lot of people are arguing that Clash is an S tier operator now, but I don't think that's the case. Hot take, I don't think new Clash is like that crazy overpowered. I think new Clash I think is only crazy overpowered if you just think, like you see Clash outside and you're like, I must push Clash. Like just don't push her. Go literally anywhere else, ignore her, or shoot her from the back, or distract her while your teammate shoots her in the back. I don't think she's that crazy good. I think she's good, not that crazy good. Mute should be S low-key, pretty annoying if using gadgets. Again, I don't know, man. Okay, so here's my argument as to why I don't think Mute is that good. Again, maybe I'm just bad. I don't play ranked a lot. Maybe I just don't care about this. If you, like, say, throw an ace charge at a wall and there's a Mute gemmer on it, you throw a pocket EMP at the bottom and it gets it. You break from below, you get it. Mute gemmers are just so easy to counter. If it blocks your drone, if it blocks your drone, it's kind of your own fault. It means you're just flying in when you should be, like, checking methodically. And then even with it, like, the Mute gemmer radius is so small that your drone, for the most part, can jump over it. I don't know if you guys know that. You can, like, if you go to the very edge of a Mute gemmer, you can jump and you can cross the Mute gemmer. I don't think it's that crazy. Also, people in chat tell me that you should mute trick. Shows me that you guys truly don't know how Mute works. One change I'm going to make. Kapkan's almost... Honestly, I want to put Kapkan at A tier. Actually, no. You know what? No, I'm making the call. Kapkan A tier. Here's why. With the new trick where you can put a single Kapkan trap on a heating pipe and insta-kill people, and also, obviously, people never check anything anymore, lots of kills on Kapkan. A tier. Nokk, For ranked, remember, for ranked overall, Nokk I kind of want to move down to D tier. I think she's good in Pro League because people go on cameras. I cannot remember the last time that a Nokk like snuck into sight because they got past our cameras on ranked. It doesn't happen. No one goes on cams. Nokk is so useless. I wouldn't say useless. It's just like, I think for how normal people play, it's just not great. We actually have a decent bell curve. The only thing we're slacking on right now is that on the lower end, there should be more people. But I feel bad bringing a lot of people down because I feel like a lot of them are actually pretty decent. Nokk gets better the more people on the enemy team are dead since you have more people forced on cams. All right, I agree. Here's the thing. The amount of times I'm watching like a hacker replay and I see that 4 people are dead, and instead of showing them on cams, they're just watching the last person alive. It happens all the time. No one goes on cams. It's crazy. I think Finka down to C, and here's why. If you're an attacker, I feel like majority of the time, you're either taking only a little bit of damage from like traps or whatever, and like random shots through walls, but majority of the time you're just dying instantly. So Finka is nice for the people who are taking like little specks of damage. But I feel like especially in a game where most of the damage is like, you know, a lot, or you're dead instantly, I feel like 20 HP per boost is not much. And my personal gripe, I don't like having a Finka on our team sometimes because when they pop their adrenal surge, I can't hear shit. If someone's flanking me, I can't hear that because all I hear is the boom, 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 boom of your heart. It's annoying. I'd rather have clear comms or clear ears and be able to hear. I kind of want to move Brava up to B tier because I feel like majority of the time the defenders will have enough gadgets that Brava's worth bringing. But I also, if I saw someone going Brava on average like every other round, I would say that they're throwing a little, or not throwing, but trolling a bit. So maybe not. Because there are a lot of gadgets you can just get rid of, so I guess you don't need Brava for that. And majority of the gadgets she hacks anyways just get destroyed. So actually, no, I like her in C. I like her in C. Monty in S tier. Like, I know I'm thinking of a specific set where Monty's incredibly good, but think about how insane Monty is on like rafters of Clubhouse. Like you're trying to hold that and then Monty just walks up. What are you going to do? Nothing. And I'm thinking like all the maps we play, I can always bring a Monty in almost every single site, but maybe not every single one. So I'll hold on that. All right, someone in chat argued about Pulse being in C tier. Thoughts, chat? I think he's fine there. I wouldn't want someone on average bringing Pulse like every single round. Something else we have to think about, but also, I don't know, maybe we don't have to think about. Certain operators, if you pick them every single round, the enemy team will just start countering you directly. Like if I go Pulse in round 1, the next round they're going to bring like a Jackal and a Deimos to hunt me downstairs. So Pulse is now objectively a terrible pick because I'm going to die every time I run him. But do we account for that, or do we just assume each round is its own bubble? Maybe we assume bubble. IQ should be higher. Can't go wrong with her. I would heavily disagree. I feel like majority of the time IQ is not worth bringing because you don't need to hunt down gadgets. Let's just pick a few operators from the top. Like let's say they go like Malusi, Aruni, Smoke. I'm trying to think of who else would be a normal lineup like that. Maybe pick a situational one like Castle, and then I don't know, Mozzie. It's like IQ great, can like shoot Mozzie pests and let people know where they are, but it's like that's one operator she counters out of 4. And sure, she could ping Malusi Banshees, but like what does that do for you? Other than now you know it's there, but you could drone it out and find out that same thing. I think chat needs to remember, and I'm not trying to roast you guys when I say this, that you guys are also playing on average at a much lower skill level where people do dumb things and then other operators like IQ or Doc are really good because you can counter those bad players. For example, a lot of people in chat are arguing that Doc should be higher. And the reason you're arguing that is because you're probably in gold and you want to heal yourself after a fight, right? But Doc's not good in the higher ranks because normally you don't survive the fight. You either die or you take no damage because you got a headshot. Stuff like that. So I think you guys are bringing too much of your lower rank weight into it. And then ACOG is ACOG. Who cares about that? There's a lot of ACOG operators. You know who I kind of want to move down one? Aruni. Here's my argument. And chat, agree or disagree with me on this. Aruni, I feel like while a nuisance is too easy to clear, and since it's only 3, it's not that limiting. I feel like you bring her to like block one way and then that's it, and then they clear it, and then usually you don't get it back anyways because people don't reset them enough, or they clear it and you don't have enough time to reset it. All right, chat agrees with me. Her DMR is good, don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's that amazing to make her a D tier or B tier. Okay, let me do something real quick to make this easier on the eyes. So I sorted all the operators by attackers and then defenders. And what I've noticed is that we have only one attacker in F tier. And I feel like we could do better than that. I think there should be at least one other attacker in the game that I could consider an F tier operator. There has to be one. I kind of want to move Raura down to F tier. Raura has a good gun and her gadget's okay. But I don't think it does enough. It's a win more condition. So it's kind of what we said about Deimos, but Deimos is still really good on his own. Raura is a win more because you don't win by putting down the gates and then like you win off that. You're already winning and you put the gates down or the doors down to block them from coming back, and you just guarantee your win. I see a lot of people in chat saying Sense should go down, but here's my argument that Sense should stay. Sense, rare pick, not that great. Direct counter to Warden. But even with that counter to Warden, if you just listen, Warden can still shoot you through the sense wall. So I kind of get what chat's saying, but I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like I'd almost rather a Sense than a Raura. Actually, okay, now I'm thinking more about it. I can't remember the last time I saw a good Sense play in ranked. And now I'm thinking about it for Pro League. They brought Sense a decent amount in Pro League. I don't think enough to make the top list. No. I was looking at the wrong side. No, but every time they tried to make a Sense play, they would lose. I made note of that because I was like, wow, every time people bring Sense, they lose. This is just awful. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move Sense down. I'm going to move Sentry up. Sentry, not that great, but I think there's a time and place where you might be like, we need an extra C4 and a deployable shield. So you bring Sentry. And Sentry has a good gun, the Commando 9. And has a pocket shotty to set up sight. You know what? I'm fine with Sentry in D tier. I'm trying to remember like how operators also affect their own teammates, because like I want to kind of move Ying up, but the amount of people who don't know how to use Ying and then they just flash their own team is crazy. Even in high ranks. Like I'm sure most of you in chat would agree. Sometimes, or not sometimes, a lot of times, your teammate throws a Ying to entry, it bounces back and flashes all you guys, and then you either die or you have to wait and then reset, right? It happens so much. It's so easy for a Ying to fuck up. And also, ever since they made it where the Ying has to roll a little bit and then explode, I'm not a huge fan of her anymore. I think I'm going to move someone down from A. I think Tubby's a good time waster. And I think he's got a great DMR or an MPX. And he has a C4. All great. But there's a lot of times where I feel like using his gadgets maybe not necessary or even like that crazy advantageous. It'd be like, I think it's site dependent, which is less of an A and more of a B. Because not every site needs a Tubby. I'm looking through and there's not many changes I would make. I could maybe move one from D to C, a defender, and it would probably either be Oryx or Echo. Probably more Echo than Oryx, because Echo has the possibility of going to like outside to see people. And now with 10 seconds as well. You know what? No, I'm doing that. Echo, C tier. Sledge and Ram on the same tier is wild. What would you change, Evan? Which one would you change? I think Sledge is just overall good, especially now. Keep in mind, this is for Siege X. Sledge can now rush into sight with the swing. So can Ram. And Sledge is good at like making mobility around the map. Ram is like, you make the 3 lines and that's it. Ram the GOAT. But Ram's only good if it has a floor above it. If they go top floor Night Haven Labs, top floor Clubhouse, on either of the 2 sites, you're not bringing a Ram because it doesn't work. Like, you can't use Ram for anything. So I don't think that's S tier. I think it stays in A tier, and then I think Sledge is still overall good. I could see him maybe being average, but I think he's fine in A. I could see Zero being moved down. I think Zero's overall a really good operator. I just don't think enough people use him and take advantage of him. I think people are too lazy to get on cams, but I think he's overall good, above average, or like average or above average. Lion I could see moving down. I don't think Lion's that crazy good, but he has good guns, he has frags, and he has the Lion scan to at least like stop roamers from running away, right? I want to ask people if they have any suggestions, but I know all of you hate half of the list, so. Someone chat said to move Nomad up. I would almost be okay with a Sledge and Nomad swap. Move Sledge to B, Nomad to A. Nomad, I think, is the best flank watch in the game. Why is Glass in D? I think in ranked, not enough people know how to use Glass properly. I think Glass has very good uses, but they're rare. All right, chat agrees with the Sledge Nomad swap. I also wouldn't mind moving Grim up to A tier, but I think we already have 1, too many A people already, and then 2, too many attackers in A. I could move Hibana down. But Hibana in B feels criminal. She's the best operator to deal with hatches, but that's about it, right? No, I mean, you can use her for specific breaches and like... No, she's too versatile, I think. Chat's saying Yana go down. Yana's like one of the best fragging operators in the game, though. Okay, how would chat feel about a Grim Yana swap? Grim A, Yana B. Thoughts? Yes? No? Yes? No? So far 2 yeses, couple yeses, a lot of yeses, only a few no's. Okay, we're doing it. Okay, I think we lock it in. I think that's the final list. I think we've refined it. I think this is overall decent. We got 5 operators, each in S tier, and then everything else I think is good. I think this is as accurate as you're going to get for Siege X.